Classical Liberal Arts Academy's Petty School Reading Program. In this lesson, we'll continue our study of English reading. Remember, there is no way to become a good English reader or speller except by practice, practice, and more practice. There is no way to become a good English reader or speller except by practice, practice, and more practice. Remember that we've learned there are 26 letters in English. There are 26 letters in English. You should know the names of all of the English letters. You can have your mother or father or one of your older brothers or sisters point to a letter and make sure that you can name every letter on this screen. You should know all 26 English letters. You should also be able to name the 5 English vowels. In the red box is the vowel A. In the yellow box is the vowel E. In the green box is the vowel I. In the blue box is the vowel O. And in the orange box is the vowel U. You should know the names of the 5 English vowels. And thus far, we've already studied the first 4, A, E, I, and O. You should also know that all other letters in English are called consonants. There are 5 vowels and 21 consonants in English. 5 vowels and 21 consonants. In this video, we will continue our study of the English vowels. In this lesson, we're going to study the English vowel U. Look carefully at the letter U on your screen. In English, the letter U is used to represent 9 different sounds. The letter U in English makes 9 different sounds. The first sound made by the English vowel U is the classical OUGH sound. In this word, we'll read the English letter U with the classical OUGH. Let's read the word together. JUDAS, JUDAS, JUDAS. Normally, when we find the English vowel U followed by a silent E, it is read with the classical OUGH sound. We'll read the letter U in this word with the classical OUGH sound. Let's read the word together. Rule, rule, rule. When we find the English vowel U before a final consonant sound, it is read with the short U sound, When the English vowel U is found before a final consonant, it is read with the short U sound, Let's read this word together. Sun, sun, sun. The English vowel U is also read with the short U sound when it comes before a doubled consonant. The English vowel U is read with the short U sound when it comes before a doubled consonant. In this word, you can see the vowel U in red followed by a doubled consonant, 2 P's. We'll read this word with the short U sound. Puppy, puppy, puppy. The English vowel U also is used to make a diphthong or double sound U in memorized words. The English vowel U also makes a diphthong sound U in memorized words. We'll read this word on your screen with the diphthong U sound. Music, music, music. Do you hear the double sound U, U, music? The English vowel U also makes the double or diphthong sound U in memorized words, even before silent E. The English vowel U also makes the diphthong sound U in memorized words, even before the silent E. Let's read this word together using the double U sound. Cute, cute, cute. The English vowel U can also make a rounded short U sound in memorized words. The rounded short U sound sounds like ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's read this word using the rounded short U sound. Full, full, full. Do you hear the rounded short U sound? Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is the fourth sound made by the English vowel U. Ooh. The fifth sound made by the English vowel U is the schwa sound. Usually, the schwa sound is found in unstressed syllables. It's a little bit different than the short U sound, a little easier to pronounce. Let's read this word together using the schwa sound. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. The difference between the schwa and the short U is that the schwa is never stressed and is a little bit quicker and simpler to read than the short U. Jesus, Jesus. Let's review the first 5 sounds made by the English vowel U by reading some words. Here you can see we'll read the English letter U with the first sound, the classical OO sound. Let's read this word together. Tuba, tuba, tuba. In this word, you can see that the English vowel U is followed by a silent E. We learned that there are 2 different ways this can be read. It can be read with the classical OO sound or with the diphthong sound U. In this word, it will be read with the classical sound OO. Let's read the word together. Tune, tune, tune. Once again, we have a word where the English vowel U is followed by a silent E. We can read this in 2 different ways. One will be right, one will be wrong. In this word, we're going to read it with the classical OO sound. Let's read the word together. Flute, flute, flute. we learned that when the English vowel U is followed by a final consonant, it's read with the short U sound, If you look at this word, you can see the English vowel U followed by a final consonant sound. Let's read this word with the short U sound. Mud, mud, mud. In this word, we again see the English vowel U followed by a final consonant sound. We'll read it with the short U sound. Plum, plum, plum. In this word, you can see the English vowel U in red, followed by a doubled consonant, two Fs. We learned that when the vowel U is followed by a doubled consonant, it makes the short U sound, ah. Let's read this word together. Fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. What do you notice about this word? You should notice that the English vowel U is followed by a doubled consonant. There are two B's after the vowel U. We learned that when the vowel U is followed by a doubled consonant, it is read with the sound ah. Let's read this word together. Bubble, bubble, bubble. In this word, you can see the English vowel U followed by a silent E at the end of the word. We learned that when the vowel U is followed by a silent E, there are two different ways the U can be read. Usually, the U is read with the classical OOH sound. But it can also be read with the diphthong sound U. In this word, it's read with the diphthong sound U. Let's read this word together. Cute, cute, cute. In this word, we have another example of the English vowel U being read with the diphthong sound U. The English vowel E in this word is read with the sound of the schwa, Let's read this word together. Funeral, funeral, funeral. Remember, there are many words in English whose spelling does not match their sounds. There are many words in English whose spelling does not match their sounds. Therefore, when you have a hard time reading, don't be discouraged. English is a very difficult language to read. You have to know the words before you can read them. Sometimes kids can't read words because they don't know how the words sound. There are many words in English whose spelling does not match their sounds. Now let's look at some digraphs that use the English vowel U. Remember, a digraph is a combination of two letters that make one sound. Digraphs are sets of two letters that make one sound. In this word, you can see a popular digraph, AU. When we read the digraph AU, we normally read it with the sound AW, AW. Let's read this word together. Paul, Paul, Paul. The digraph AU is usually read with the sound AW. In this word, you can see the digraph OU, and we've already studied this digraph in our last lesson when we studied the vowel O. Do you remember how to read the digraph OU? It should be read with the sound OW, OW, OW. Let's read this word together. Out, out, out. In this word, we see the digraph UI. The digraph UI is usually read with the sound OO, the sound of the classical OO. Let's read this word together. Fruit, fruit, fruit. This word probably makes you hungry. Fruit. Wouldn't you like some fruit? The digraph UI is read with the sound OO, as in fruit. Here we see the letter U in another digraph. We already saw that the digraph OU can be read with the sound OW. But this digraph here in this word has a different sound. Here, the digraph OU is read with the short U sound. Ah. Let's read this word together. Trouble, trouble, trouble. In this word, we see 3 letters written together, and they will be read with just one sound. You can see the sound is marked by the number 5, which was the sound of the schwa in the word Jesus. These letters I, O, and U will be read with the sound of the schwa, Let's read this word together. Delicious, delicious, delicious. As we continue our study of the English vowel U, there are a few important things to remember. First, after the letters B and G, the letter U is often silent. After the letters B and G, the letter U is often silent. Let's look at a few examples. In this word, you can see the vowel U comes after the letter B. In this word, the letter U is silent. Let's read this word together so you can hear how the word sounds with a silent U. Build, build, build. We read this word as if it was spelled B-I-L-D. The U is silent. In this word again, we see the vowel U following the letter B. And in this word, the U is going to be silent again. We're going to read this word as if it was written B-Y. Let's read it together. Buy, buy, buy. We go to the store to buy some fruit. B-U-Y spells buy. The U is silent. In this word, you can see the vowel U follows the letter G. In this word, the U will be silent. We'll read it as if it was spelled G-A-R-D. Let's read the word together. Guard, guard, guard. Here's another word where we find the English vowel U after the letter G. Again, the vowel U will be silent. We'll read this word as if it was written G-E-S-S. Let's read the word together. Guess, guess, guess. Now let's learn a second important rule about reading the English vowel U. After the letter Q, the letter U is read like a W. After the letter Q, the letter U is read like a W. We read the letter U with the sound W, W, when it follows the letter Q. Let's look at some examples. In this word, you can see the vowel U follows the letter Q. We're going to read the vowel U with the sound of the letter W, W. Let's read this word together and listen for the sound of the U. Quail, quail, quail. Did you hear the sound of the U? Quail, quail. When the letter U follows the letter Q, we read it with the sound of the letter W, W. Here we have another word where you can see the vowel U comes after the letter Q. We're going to read the vowel U again with the sound of the letter W, W. Let's read this word together. Queen, queen, queen. Did you hear the sound of the letter U after the Q? Queen, queen. Here is another word where you can see the vowel U follows the English letter Q. Again, we'll read this letter U with the sound W. Let's read the word together. This is a difficult word to read, so listen carefully. Quiet, quiet, quiet. And let's practice one more word where the letter U follows a letter Q. Let's read this word together. You should know how to read the letter U after a Q by now. Question, 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 question. Thus far in this lesson, we've looked at the more normal sounds made by the English letter U. There are, like any other English letter, many irregular readings. Let's take some time to study some of the irregulars. We learned that when the English vowel U is in a stressed syllable before a single consonant sound, that it's normally read with the classical sound OO, like Judas. If we look at this word, we see the English vowel U followed by a single consonant sound. It looks like we should read this word boozy, boozy, but that would be wrong. This is an irregular word. We actually read this letter U with the sound of a short I. I. That may be weird, but that's what makes English so difficult to read. Let's read this word together. Busy, busy, busy. In this word, we have what looks like a digraph in the letters E and U. If we tried to read this word with classical pronunciation, it would sound like deuke, deuke. But this word actually comes from French. The letters E and U are read together with the classical sound OUGH, and the C is soft, S. Let's read this irregular word together. Deuce, deuce, deuce. This is the French word for the number 2. Think of the Latin word duo, or the Spanish word dos. This is the French word douce. And here we'll see another irregular word with the letters E and U. If we tried to read this with classical pronunciation, we might read it as FEUD, FEUD. And that would be close, but it would be wrong. If we tried to read it like the word deuce, we would read it as food, food. And food might be yummy, but it would be wrong. This is another irregular word, and we read it with the diphthong sound U, U, as in music. Let's read this word together. Feud, feud, feud. This is another word for a fight. If families are fighting, we say they're having a feud. Feud. F-E-U-D. That's irregular. Here's another irregular word that uses the English letter U, and we've already studied this when we studied the letter O. In this word, the two letters O and U are read as a long O. Oh. This word is read sol, sol. In this word, we have almost all of the same letters, but it's read with a very different sound because these are irregulars. In the last word, we read OU with the sound O, as in sol. Here, the letters OU make the sound OO. Let's read this word together. Soup, soup, soup. This is another irregular word. We learned that when the English letter U follows the letter Q, it's read with the sound of the letter W, W. If we followed that rule and read this word, we would read this word as QUART, 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 and that would be wrong. In English, this word is read as court, court, court. The letter U is silent. It's a strange and irregular word, court. As we look at all of these crazy irregular words, remember the irregulars with the letters OUGH and AUGH. We've studied these before. Remember the irregulars with the letters OUGH and those with the letters AUGH. If you don't remember the words that have OUGH, you can go back to your last lesson and review them. Let's take a look at some of the irregular words with the letters AUGH. Here we have an irregular English word with the letters AUGH. How do we read this word? It's very irregular. We treat the U as if it's silent, and we read the GH as an F. We read this word as laugh, laugh. In this word, we find the same letters, A, U, G, and H. If we read this word the same way we read laugh, this word would be taft, taft. But that would be totally wrong. This is another irregular word, and we read it as taught, taught. Here, the A and U are read as aw in Paul, and the G and H are silent. It's another wacky, irregular English word. Remember, there are many words in English whose spelling does not match their sounds. If anyone ever makes fun of you because you're just learning how to read, and maybe you get some words wrong sometimes, you can show them some of these irregular words and ask them to read them and see how smart they are. Then they'll learn that there are many words in English whose spelling does not match their sounds, and learning how to read English is very difficult work. So if there are so many irregular words, and if reading in English really is this difficult, how can we possibly learn all these? You will learn to spell rightly the more you read and write. There's no easy way to master English spelling. It takes time. You will learn to spell rightly the more you read and write. You will only learn to read and write well if you never guess at the spelling of words. If you see a word that you don't know how to read, or if you hear a word and don't know how to spell it, you should look the word up or ask someone for help. Never guess at the spelling of words. This will lead you to make lots of mistakes, and you may memorize the wrong spellings of words, and that may lead to more errors in the future. Never guess at the spelling of words. The easiest way to remember all the different sounds made by the letter U is to remember the words that we studied in this video. You'll memorize these in your lesson. Remember the words Judas, rule, sun, puppy, music, cute, full, Jesus, Paul, out, fruit, trouble, delicious, build, buy, guard, guess, queen, and remember, there are many irregulars. Here you can practice reading the Lord's Prayer. You probably already know the Lord's Prayer, so you should be able to read it by moving one word at a time, nice and slow. I've put all of the letter U's in red on your screen. You can ask your mother or father or an older brother or sister who knows how to read to let you read this prayer out loud and make sure you read all the syllables correctly. To give you some more practice in reading, here is the Hail Mary. You probably know all the words to the Hail Mary just like you know all the words to the Our Father. You can see again I've put the letter U's in red. You can have someone else help you read the prayer and make sure that you read all the vowels correctly. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy's Petty School Reading Program. For more resources from the Classical Liberal Arts, visit us online at classicalliberalarts.com. God bless you.